Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, and I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Jacksonville rapper Kshordy, who's been hit with a murder charge after back-to-back violence. In a city where oxygen has been replaced by gun smoke, murders have continued to rise as bodies continue to fall in Jacksonville, Florida. War amongst local rappers has been made famous through hit songs and documented killings, with one of the newest rappers in the city already falling victim to the system. 20-year-old Therese Powell, who's more commonly known as Kshordy, is a documented 6-block gang member out of North Jacksonville. At age 16, he fired a gun into a crowd, striking one person, and would later be found in a stolen car, resulting in him being charged with 4 counts of attempted murder for the shooting and armed carjacking for the vehicle. This was his first arrest. His case would remain in the Department of Juvenile Justice, sparing him from a possible life sentence in adult court after he stated he intentionally shot the victim after the victim attempted to take his gun during an argument. The 4 attempted murders would be reduced down to 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon, and he'd plead guilty to the assault along with the armed carjacking, receiving an 18-month sentence in a level 10 juvenile program. This was the highest level security lockup facility for juveniles in the state of Florida outside of state prison. Infractions within the juvenile program would keep him incarcerated for a total of 26 months, and he'd be released at 18 years old. It was only weeks after his 19th birthday when shooters came to take his life. Thursday, March 19th, 2020, Jacksonville sheriffs were dispatched to the city's north side after reports of a shooting. They'd arrive on scene finding a vehicle with 2 victims, one of which was Kshordy. He was shot, an ambulance was en route, and his girlfriend Nandi White, an honor roll student and high school cheerleader, was pronounced dead at the scene. Witnesses would tell investigators that Nandi was dropping Kshordy off after a date when another vehicle pulled up and 2 men jumped out, opening fire. They'd get back into the vehicle and drive off as 911 calls were being made. 9mm shell casings left at the scene matched the same shell casings found at a shooting scene the day before and only 2 minutes away. A house, car, and mailbox had all been shot up, and according to investigators, the house was frequently visited by Kshordy. 16-year-old Xavier Porter became a suspect in the case after text messages were recovered where he and others planned the shootings as revenge. 2 days before Kshordy was shot and his girlfriend was killed, a 20-year-old named Daquan Saxton was shot multiple times and died. He was a documented member of Double O, a Northside neighborhood gang that rivals 6 Block. Text messages sent by the 16-year-old named Xavier Porter would read, "Look though, gang, I got one under my belt. Therese's girlfriend, me and my brothers did that, cause Therese killed my big brother. Nandi, yeah, she wasn't supposed to die though. That was for Therese. He killed my brother." Investigators determined the Double O gang believed Kshordy killed one of their members and retaliated back to back until they shot him, killing his girlfriend in the process. Other texts would reveal Double O members asking for 9mm ammunition, which was found at the scene, and a tactical light gun attachment was found at the scene of one of the shootings, with DNA linking Double O member Roland Ball to the scene. Roland would later admit to a witness he killed Nandi, leading to Roland and Xavier being arrested for the murder. 5 months later, sheriffs found Kshordy in a vacant lot bleeding from a gunshot to his leg. 100 feet from where he was found, sheriffs recovered a .556 rifle and 3 spent shell casings. In another location, they'd find 6 9mm shell casings, and it would take months for Kshordy's DNA to be tested, which was found on the rifle and the rifle's magazine, leading investigators to believe Kshordy was firing the weapon in a possible shootout. An arrest warrant was then filed for Kshordy, being a gang-related felon in possession of a weapon. In 2021, Kshordy would drop "Tired of Shooting," a music video that's now reached over 1.4 million views in 6 months. He'd follow up with songs that would pass 1 million views, and the rapper who'd only just started rapping was making noise in the city. But all that would soon come to a stop. September 28th, 22-year-old Noah Williams, who's more commonly known as Jacksonville rapper Spinabenz, would take to his Instagram story posting his locations in the city. Spinner grew up in the east side of Jacksonville, originally going by the name 187 Twin, and was a documented member of the 187 Boys, a neighborhood gang that would take on many different names in the years to come. Spinner was sitting inside of a Dodge Challenger by a Raceway gas station when gunfire erupted. An SUV sped off as Spinner and another rapper named Greenlight ran into the gas station, but a third man was left behind. The two then ran back to the Challenger, driving to the emergency room. The third man was known as BMG Zay, or 187 No Face, and could be seen in Spinner's video Fuck the City Up. He'd been shot in the head, lasted long enough to make it to the hospital, and was rushed into surgery where he later died. Spinner and Greenlight were detained at the hospital and held for questioning as police determined the shooter's vehicle was a Range Rover Evoque. Immediately following the shooting, Julio Fulio took to Instagram with a series of story posts, trolling Whopper with the chopper and even adding No Face's account, saying wake up. It was originally rumored Spinabenz had been shot, to which Watt replied with a series of posts directed at Fulio. While the Insta war played out, the next day gang unit detectives were conducting surveillance in the Woodland Acres neighborhood when they observed a black Range Rover Evoque and advised the radio it matched the description of the gas station shooting. As the gang unit pursued, the Range Rover took off at a high rate of speed before crashing into a pole as two suspects attempted to flee before laying down and being handcuffed. They were identified as Therese Powell and 18-year-old Loreno Span, who's also a 6-block rapper who goes by the name LaCracker. Spent shell casings could be seen inside of the vehicle, and LaCracker was found wearing the same clothing description as the passenger during the shooting. At this time, Kshordy is being held inside of the Duval County Jail without bond, facing second-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, shooting or throwing deadly missiles, a weapons offense, and resisting arrest. LaCracker has only been charged with resisting arrest at this time. Kshordy would take to Instagram writing Greenlight and Spinabenz, tell Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to free me. Y'all know I'm innocent. They waiting on y'all word. Please stay a fan and mind your business, please. No, Spin or Greenlight is not snitching. They are victims in my case. It isn't clear who, if anyone, claimed to have seen Kshordy at the shooting scene or driving the Range Rover he'd later be found fleeing from, but I highly doubt his ops would clear his name after their homie's life was just taken. On November 18th, Spinner would drop a song titled Badass Day, and at 1 minute and 10 seconds into the song he says, "Them sprayed up my whole side, I ain't get hit, I'm still confused. I still hear Face's voice in my head, I know he got some shit to do." It's obvious he's speaking on the shooting and the death of his friend No Face. Now, being one of the youngest out of Jacksonville, Florida, as far as rapping goes, this man has a story that could be a success story. Your first arrest, you shot somebody. You end up doing over 2 years in juvenile custody for that ghetto, get shot 2 separate times, one with your girlfriend and she ends up dying. I mean, this kid's been through a lot of shit, and to only have been rapping for like half a year and blowing up as fast as he did, it's hard to say what is gonna happen with this case. I'm not sure what concrete evidence they have connecting him to the shooting that's gonna prove that he did it. I mean, it doesn't matter that you're in a car with the fucking shell casings. That doesn't matter. I know of somebody that was caught in a vehicle with a body in the trunk and beat the murder and was just charged with, I don't know, like fucking up a body. I forget what the actual charge for that is, but something with a corpse. But I don't know what evidence they have directly tying him to that. And I highly doubt his ops are gonna, oh nah, he wasn't there, we know it wasn't him, we didn't see who it was, but we know it wasn't him. They're not gonna do that to clear his fucking name. At the end of the day, I don't even know why he would expect that, but it's almost like taunting them to even post something like, hey, y'all tell them I didn't do this shit. Like, hey, I know your homie got smoked, but tell them boys I didn't do it. And if you that gangster, you want get back, tell them I didn't do it so I can get out and then we can run it in the streets. But Jacksonville has always been about murder. As long as I lived in Florida, I've always heard of their reputation. It's fucking wild over there. I can't predict what's gonna come from this case, but I'll keep y'all updated in the future, or y'all can just go and watch Hip Hop Daily. He copies all my fucking videos and literally says the same shit that I say. It's fucking crazy, but hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all and y'all rocking with me. Till next time.